I think, judging by that, I think we've seen success.
Success.
If today's video does not end with one of these, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed. The good news is, today should be the last day that we have to wheel that thing out with the winch, because hopefully by the end of today, or at the end of this video at least, this car will be running. This is a 2-liter turbo engine out of my white Genesis. We're gonna do a dual motor swap. If you guys missed any of that in the last video, we're putting this thing in the red car and we're putting a in the white car, which should be really fun. It gives kind of the best of both worlds. Yesterday we went ahead and did a full timing chain kit, oil pump kit. Got a gasket maker on all the timing chain cover, everything's reassembled. This morning, Mac has been taking a couple things apart. When we took this cat off, one, that stud snapped right in the hot side of the turbo, and this was cut. I don't remember if I did. That kind of looks like something I might have done in a pinch. You guys know we had another turbo already. This one is in significantly worse condition. So Mac just ripped the hot side off, and he's gonna go ahead, swap that out. Couple bolts, other bolts are now stripping, so we've got to take the whole manifold off and do some things. But progress is being made, which is good news. And today's task is easy in theory, but you guys know nothing ever goes as planned. All we really are supposed to have to do is get this engine out and put that engine in. Does that sound like a hard thing to do?
It's not supposed to be.
It's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
But before we get this thing out on the streets to do a nice big burnout, I just want to remind you guys that on March 29th, the committed crew is having the center embroidery drop. So we're going to be having the white and black center embroidery hoodies. We got jet tags, stickers, banners, all kinds of good stuff. You guys know that's the #1 way to support the channel. I love every single one of you guys that does support and help us. And so I told you guys in today's video that I would explain kind of our plan with this. So before we dive into it, I'm gonna just tell you, we are manual swapping this car, I promise. We're gonna do it in like 2 videos. But all I wanna know is, because this car was literally abandoned for over 4 years, I don't know what's wrong with it. And the more I do to it, before I even turn it on for the first time, the more I run the risk of having a problem that was already there that I think I caused. Our new engine is completely plug and play into this engine bay. We drop it in, we plug it in, we turn it on, we drive the car around. We find any issues that already exist on the car, add them to the list of things that we can fix, and then we do the manual swap. That way we're not trying to trace down issues that we think we caused. Like, for example, if the rear diff is like completely exploded, I might think that it's something I did in like any of the million parts that come before the rear diff when I did the manual swap. So that's kind of our game plan. Might not be the most fun, but it makes sense. Someone please comment and tell me what the hell this thing is. It's just like a giant magnet. Like, what is this?
What is that? No writing on it? If you...
No, there's no markings on it other than these numbers. There we go. That's the last transmission bolt. So we should be good to pull this thing now. And you guys can see while you're under here, I don't remember if I showed you guys this in the last video, but every single flange on this exhaust is dead, dude, like rotting. That's another reason why we had to remove that downpipe, so that we could use this downpipe, because we can't remove that one without removing the entire exhaust. I have a different exhaust coming for this car. I don't think I'm gonna reuse the one that's on the white Genesis. I know you guys want this thing like finished right now, but enjoy the process, man, it takes time. You guys seen, I pulled these off. Like, look at all this dirt on the ground, okay? The condenser exploded a long time ago. There is literally pieces of AC condenser on the ground in this pile of dirt. I don't know what that is, but that is a deep, deep pile of junk. And it's all over the place. So this condenser, I'm pretty sure the AC condenser got hit or something. You can see there's like pieces of it coming off here. This is a whole strip of it. And then when I pulled the intercooler, it's covered in dust, got dust all over the ground. So unfortunately, this car is not gonna have AC at first because the Genesis doesn't have AC, so we don't have working AC components to put in here. But it's still March, so we got plenty of time to figure that out. But just don't do that at home. You're gonna have to evacuate if you do that in your own garage. So that's pretty much good. Mac got everything put back together over here. Should be perfectly good to go. You guys wouldn't have even known if we didn't tell you that, but now you know. I just don't know why. Like, why doesn't it want to go back? I don't know. I think at this point, can you push this thing back? Yeah. It's just so close to popping off, dude. If this comes out, we are in for such a mess. I think it's gonna, whoa! We did it! I have this really random roll of like packing saran wrap stuff. That's what we use here. Normally I just use garbage bags. That's why it looks so weird, but dude, the engine bay in this thing is just super gross. Like kind of custy. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. One day I will actually detail like the outside of this car, the engine bay, all that kind of stuff. But for today, I just don't want to put a nice fresh engine in here when in here looks like this. I also gotta say that these Hyundai engines pull so easy, dude. I'm absolutely in love with pulling these things out. We've done 2 in the last 2 days and they are so simple. Gotta hit it with a little bit of the good stuff. I feel like I've been using this in literally every video lately, but it's just good, dude. Boys, look at this, dude. This looks so much better. It's not perfect, obviously. Like, it needs, this whole car, honestly, is probably gonna end up needing paint because it needs, you know, like a fender and a lot of love. So I wasn't super picky with what's going on in here, but even just a quick spray, everything looks fantastic, so much better. I also blasted all the yucky off the windshield. So the only thing left for us to do is use the fancy new socket set and figure out which one, probably a 17. Yep, fits on there. And then we have to temporarily install this sadness. It's a good thing we have a couple engines to choose from here.
What'd you just do?
Snap the tip off this injector. Okay, there we go. We now have a temporary automatic engine again. This thing was an auto, then it was a manual, now it's gonna be an auto, and then it's gonna be a manual again. Love doing more work than I have to. Boom. And now we wait for Mac to show up in the morning. Unless you wanna try and stuff it in right now with me. You wanna give it a quick whirl? We could wait for him, or he could be amazed when he shows up and it's in.
Let's give it a quick whirl.
Yes! We're gonna need this guy back. Oh my God, dude, if you can fit an entire jack under your car, can you please just go buy coilovers? Like, this is so tragic right now. The annoying part of trying to mate to an auto is that that little PP is so small, dude. It has to like perfectly go in the chute. Oh, not my beautiful condition 1 of 1 Mint VK1 rad support. This entire wiring harness I just discovered is completely finished. We're at the gap of no return. We're close. We're so close. Some may say we're in the lobby, yet we're still waiting for the elevator. Oh my God, did it just go? The final push. The sound you heard was everything kissing together with stage 3 smoochies. You know what? I was gonna take that off. We're gonna leave it on just in case we need to revisit this, but we did it, dude. Look at that. So easy. I'm gonna say it only one more time. These are my favorite engines to move. Just period. Maybe even just going from their own car to their own car. It's still so much better than other engines that have put them back in their own car. It's amazing. I got the little bolty up on that mount down there. And we got the little nutty down on that mount down there. And everything is mounted. You can see that the guide pins right here are in the right place. They just have to be squished together. So now it's just literally a matter of putting bolts in, squishing everything together. Actually, you know, before we do anything else, because I don't want to do this later. How did this guy go on here? Oh yeah, right like that. Oh my God, no way. There's a 0% chance. No chance that it's that close. What? Dude, this might be so much easier than I thought. You're telling me if I can get this stubby little screwdriver in here and line them up. Oh my God, that's it. Entire wiring harness is bolted back up. We got the exhaust bolted back up. Everything is like actually just kind of flying through. It seems to be working very nice, but we just realized that we have about a quarter tank of gas to deal with. We know this car has been sitting for at least 4 years. It could be more, and gas is usually a problem after like, I'd say about a year. Sometimes I let a car, like the Genesis sat for like about a year, and you know, but like, so we already had the exhaust bolted back up, which is a huge pain because it's already rusted. We didn't want to take it off. So here's what we're doing. This is the fuel pressure regulator, whatever I guess that is. That goes right here to the stock fuel line. So we basically took that off and we put a big old hose on it. Hose going down into the bucket. We put some saran wrap on there just kind of as like splash control. Maybe even put that a little lower so it's good. Mac pulled the fuel pump relay. And you want to tell them where we're at with this? Because I really don't know.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna jump the wire essentially into the fuel relay spot in the fuse box. I believe it's the 2 copper ones, which will automatically keep the pump going all the time. Okay. And that should pump the fuel from the regulator into the bucket.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Stink up the garage?
I'm nervous.
Okay, so that's, now press that button, see if that does anything.
Okay.
Did it do anything? Yep, it's pumping. Aha, it's working. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That gas looks gross. I guess I've never had gas in like a white pail before, but it doesn't look good.
2,000 years later.
We're done, I think at least. Like I'm actually pretty impressed with how much did come out. It doesn't look like much on camera, but we're about there on a 20 liter bucket. I can use this for my cereal tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we disconnected the AC lines, which have made pee-pee on the floor. I didn't even know AC lines could pee-pee. One day we will put AC back in this car and get it all figured out. But for now, we just disconnected the lines from the pump down here, from the firewall up there, and everything is pretty much disco. We are like this close.
Very close.
This close. I did throw the stock airbox back on because that little air intake we had before only worked with the other rad support. This one's in the way, so stock airbox for now. We're leaving this big piece off because it's in the way. We got oil in here. Oh, can you actually press that button there? We forgot to put gas in it. We got 25 liters of fresh 91. As long as we have some juice to open this thing. Honestly, that's so much gas. Even if there is a little splooge left in the bottom, that's like way more than enough to dilute it. Fuel pump relay is still out, and I'm excited, but I feel like it's gonna be sort of a letdown. What am I hearing?
Fan.
Why is the fan on? All right, well, we got a half tank of 91. The relay's out. Okay, I just want to prime it a couple times, make sure that. Well, that's good news.
Sounds good.
It sounds like it's supposed to sound. We get a little more oil in that turbo. You want to fire me up?
Fire away, Captain.
Hell yeah, dude! It's nice work. We got no engine lights either.
No way.
Dude, nice.
Battery light, we know the battery.
What are the odds of nailing that? That was good.
I love it.
It's a little anticlimactic. It's just so quiet. Yes. Everything sounds good too. Like, it doesn't sound like we're missing anything. This guy can come up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's your battery.
The battery's toast, dude.
No, well, you know what it is? That terminal broke. It has to be able to come off because we have to be able to drive the car around. Now, I was well aware that this battery was hooped, but we all know that a dead battery will still run a car as long as it's plugged in. So immediately we assumed it was this broken terminal that came with this abandoned Genesis. We swapped it out for a terminal from the white Genesis, and I also stole a seat while we were there, so we had something to sit on for the test drive, but that never really solved our problem.
Dude, why is it doing this?
What?
It shut off!
It shut off itself? Get out of here. Later that night, we realized it was actually the nut on the stud on the back of the alternator was never tight. So it was never actually charging the battery, which is super terrible, but we just honestly didn't realize. So at the time, we played battery games for a while. We ended up stealing the Jeep battery, which I think this only worked because it's massive and it was fully charged. And that got the car running. So we jacked up the car to start bleeding the cooling system. I tossed in the other Genesis seat, and you can see the battery light is still on the dash while we're bleeding it, but for some reason, I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. Kudos to the Jeep battery, because for the rest of this video, this car is running solely off of that battery. Thankfully, we never destroyed it. We found the alternator nut before any damage happened. But in our minds, the cooling system was bled, the car was running, it was time for a test drive. How's that stock exhaust sound?
I don't know, let me hear it. Very stock.
Very bad?
Very stock.
The maiden voyage.
Let's go. Oh, it's so satisfying.
How cool was that?
Dude, we're moving.
Okay, the brakes are kind of bad. Like, I just stomped them to do that, so really just remember that, all right? That's all we gotta do right now.
Oh, little blow up.
Dude, we're moving. We were in business. That rear tire sounds like it's about to blow out, but we are in business.
We are moving.
What if manual mode like on this bad boy? Does that work?
Oh yeah. Paddles work?
So
okay.
at least we can sell this as like transmission works.
Sure.
Needs an ligament.
That wheel's so off. Does it?
Okay, that's the slowest car. Oh my god. That was so
It does.
bad.
I smell it now.
That was so bad. It
Yeah.
smells a little like power steering fluid or something. Oh, do you smell that now?
No.
The scent of everything
Oh,
catching up
brakes.
behind
I
us.
smell the brakes. Oh, yeah.
Brakes are burning.
Does it feel as fast as when it was in your drift car?
No, dude, the Slurpee box is eating like 150 horsepower easy. It looks so serious too with the hood off.
I know.
It looks like we got something cool there. It's just literally a bone stock motor. I hate these headlights, but this thing doesn't look bad. Like out of the garage, I kind of like it. It's definitely the quietest car I've ever heard in my entire life. With a hood on, you would not even know this thing is running. I don't think the exhaust even makes a note. And I have a strict no being a dickhead in my neighborhood policy. You guys know if you ever see me doing burnouts or anything, it's never near my own house. This car, unfortunately, is the farthest thing from being legal on the street. So I'm gonna chop this one up and do the burnout at my house. We gotta make sure the torque converter works. And any other excuses?
No, I don't
No?
think
Okay,
so.
get ready for the world's quietest driveway burnout.
All right, let's do it.
We have traction control on this thing. I didn't know that.
Turn it off.
Yeah, working on it.
Smoking. You set your driveway on fire just a little bit. Oh my god, your door! Your floor!
Oh, that's funny, dude. Dude, that was good. I'm happy. This thing is full of smoke still. Yo, home burnouts might be the way to go.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, see, I'm allowed to do them. You heard it here first.
There's-
Did we tear up the driveway?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
Extreme.
That's funny.
You hit up here.
Wow. That's a good spread. Judging by that, I think we've seen success.
Success.
That was good. This thing felt right at home. Can you hear this thing just creaking? It has been a long time since this car was that warm, I bet.
Probably never been that warm.
Honestly, dude, that was a huge success. We really have less issues than I was expecting this car to have. I thought, to be honest, once we got it running, we would find like the trans didn't work or the diff or the axle or something will be wrong with it, but like literally it just drove around the block and did 2 decent burnouts perfectly fine, dude. Now the fun begins. So not only do we have to clean up this garage, but I'm gonna run this guy again inside the car now that it runs. I'm gonna just put it outside later tonight, turn on the fans and just run this thing with the air actually circulating properly, and now that it's cleaned so it can actually like sink into the carpets and sink into all the vents and everything, and get rid of the extra little cigarette-y smell that's there, because it smells way better. Still medium yuckus.
Just a little bit. It smells like tires now.
Yeah, the inside of the garage stinks like tires. My little challenge for you guys today to end this video was brought to you by Mac. I just told him that I completely didn't think of a challenge for the end of today's video, so he's got one for you.
Challenge today, guys. Just be yourself. Don't let other people kind of tell you what to be or who to be. Just do you. You want to be weird? Be weird. Just do you. Be yourself.
That is it. That's all we got for you guys today. We gotta go get the rubber off the front garage door. Didn't really think about the aftermath. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. We can start making some exciting progress with this car. Oh, and Jenny.
Jenny
has good progress coming too. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed. Oh no, not the ugly tinted headlights.
Those are really nice tinted.
These are rare JDM. These are rare
KDM.
Kia domestic market headlights.
Oh, HDM Hyundai domestic.
We got it out. No peepees, dude. Oh, are you kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me, dude?
Oh my God. The oil pans.
The second we say no pee-pee.
Okay, yeah, we move this out.